Hi everybody! I started the stream a little bit earlier than I usually would, but I want to go to bed early this time. So, last time was a bit of a bust because I couldn't get a bit of code to work. That left me with an error. And I fixed it, or at least I found out what's wrong with it and fixed it, and I'll show you in a bit what I fixed. But today I was thinking about implementing the time into all the other bits of code that are going to use time so that the transition would be easier. And you might already see that the minutes are accurate for right now, as the time is at my place. So that's accurate. But let me show you first how I fixed this. So I got in trouble with the hour count and the clock, and that I got into an error, I think, that it wasn't an int or something like that, or a string, and I thought it had to do with this statement because I wasn't putting an else below it. But as those things tend to go, is that the problem is actually somewhere else. It just keeps telling you it's on that line of code when it actually isn't. So this code had always worked. It's the step after that was giving the problem, and I'll show you in a bit what it was. But I also, if you remember, the second position in clock is the minutes, and I'm telling it for every iteration of this loop that it checks the minutes. Again, that's why this the minutes part down here is accurate to what it is now, because it's actually the minutes as of this moment. But the problem that was actually causing the whole error was that in the code that came after this, the functions that came after this, I just defined clock, and I didn't define which set or which position in the clock. I just had clock, and I didn't have anything of brackets there, and that's what was causing the problem. So when I got further in, I actually added the clock 0, and then it started working. First I had to just do it with the sun, but also of course with the moon cycle, because the moon cycle also works with clock to do its stuff. But that was just to fix like the hour thing, but it didn't we haven't implemented it fully yet, and that's what I was hoping to do today. Because right now we're just grabbing the hour of the clock, and last time I had 2 ideas of doing this. Either make like somewhere at the beginning, at the start, before I go into the functions of the sun and the moon, I would recalculate the hours and the minutes into one big number. So the number would be the minutes, and also 60 times the hour it is. So then you would get how many minutes there are in that day, as a way to better calculate when the sun and the moon comes up. But I was kind of that seems to me like the easiest idea to do, because then you're just working with one number and not trying to switch between hours and minutes, which could be a thing. And it would be easier to add and subtract minutes, because it's just only minutes and it's not hours. Or else you have to go like, oh, if you subtract more than 70 minutes, then you also have to subtract an hour and stuff like that. So, and since time works with 60, yeah, it's a pain. So that to me seems like the best option. The only other thing that I have in my head is, when do I start using it? Do I already use it like in this loop and give that as parameters? Or do I keep this clean as much as possible and let like the sun cycle do it? Recalculate it into all minutes, and then but if you think about it, this is going to be strange, because then you have to implement arrays every time, and I don't think that's a good idea. I think it should just be integers all the way. So price is useful. I need to add more information. As in time of sunrise. I think 8 was like the lowest it could go. It's what I calculated on. I can't remember. Let's just break the whole thing. There's the moon, and here comes the sun. I think 8 was the lowest that I calculated. So the 8 would come up here. Okay. We're gonna keep it like this. It's just for me with the extra information. Okay. Because that would tell me what this is. I put moonfall up here because I think moonfall is used here in the calculation. Eventually, I think I'll have to take it out because calculating the moon phase is also going to be a thing. I've been looking up how many days it takes for the moon to go through its phases, and it was, I think, 29.5 days for it to go through all the phases. But it also depends on what season it is. Because sometimes it will take longer, and sometimes it will take shorter, and it's all dependent on the season, time of year, blah, 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 blah. So, that's going to be a thing. But since I'm only, like, implementing 8 phases, I think, it's gonna be fine. I do want to make like these phases, these like extreme phases, last for like a day or maybe 3 days, nights, so that it's more obvious when it actually is a full moon or a new moon or first quarter or last quarter kind of thing. And that the moon phases in between those days are all filled up with the crescent or the gibbous moons. But that's something I can do later, and I can do that in the moon cycle thing. Okay, the first one is time of moonrise.
Yeah, that's why I say it.
Time of moonfall. Phase of the moon. Cool. Set time is clock, so that's just fine. I don't have to do anything with that. I'm thinking, how am I going to input where the sunset is, and the sunrise, and the moon and moonfall? Because I'm not thinking of using an API to do that, but more of
don't worry, I just
I was thinking of having like another function that calculates, because I can know in advance when the longest day of the year is and what time that is, the shortest day of the year, and what times those are, and the 2 equinoxes. And I could use that as like calculate the in-betweens maybe, Because then I only have to like implement
But I completely
4
trust you.
dates and their times. The time to sunrise and the time to sunset, and I don't even have to implement zenith, I think,
Yeah,
because then
I'm rather not
the shortest day
I
would
should-
have
I
like
think
the
it's
lowest zenith, and the highest day would have like the highest would be 0, and the equinoxes would be on 4.
Yes, it did.
So I have to figure
Yes, it
out
did. I crashed it.
how that time is given, and that's going to plug into these ones.
The first one I did was your ship, and it crashed. So it was a ship.
If you're hearing somebody talking, it's my husband who's sitting next to me, and he's playing Space Engineers, I think. And he's very animately playing the game. But we're going to call it clock int, as in I want it to be an integer. And how are we going to calculate that? Oh, wait. We are going to say the clock int is 60 times clock. That one. So how many hours they're in. Plus clock 1, which should be the minutes, and then we say, let's make that print clock it. It's also printing something else, so maybe if I should find print. What do you find? What other stuff are you printing? Print date. That's not what it's doing, is it? Oh. No, don't delete it. Find. What more do I use print time for? Try set time. Print current time. Wait, that's not what's going through here, is it? Ooh, that's a lot that's going through there then. Okay. That one. What else do we have? Print pre-dawn. Well, that's fine. Yeah, post dusk. That's the one that's giving me all those floats. Whoop. I clicked. I'm not holding. I'm too fast. He thinks I'm holding the button and just go like, oh, you want me to select all of this? No, I don't. I just want you to put my cursor where I click. Okay, let's do that again. Okay. I'm gonna stop it halfway through. Is this accurate? 60 times 14. Yeah, that's accurate. Cool. So at 14:41, 881 minutes have passed in a day. Oh, come on, you can do it. Fingers. Oh, I'm sniffling a bit because I'm kind of... But this works. Okay, then we have... And because I'm creating it here, it's a global variable, which means it can be used everywhere else, including sun cycle and moon cycle and stuffsies. Cool. I am going to put more variables in here and say sunrise. And pretend it has already been through through that thing that I'm going to make, function that I'm going to make. Oh god, words are being hard on me. Okay, let's grab the timings for tomorrow. No, that's the stuff on average. Alright, I'll grab average. In December, the average time to sunrise is at 8:39, and the sunset is at 16:33. Cool. Then we recalculate that and say 60 times 8. So the sunrise is going to be at 519 minutes. The sun set is going to be a lot higher. Okay, it's going to be at, thankfully, I have a calculator. Boop. At 993 minutes. Cool. Was there more stuff for the moon, right? Yeah, for the moon we have to do that too. Say moon rise. We had said what, around the app I have only does it for the sun. Lame. Moon is also important. Should not be underestimated. But we went for it. Up at 6 at night. 8. Okay. So we say sunrise at 20. 10, just for the fun of it. And it will set I'm calling it moonfall, but is it actually moonset? when is it set and when is it full? I wonder. At 8. 13. Okay. Let's grab a calculator again. Ooh. Okay. For the sunrise, it's 1210. And for moonfall, it's around. Okay. That's what we need to know. That's how I want it to come out after that. Function. No, don't do that. Well, most likely the moon phase needs to come out of that function too. So that we can say sunrise, right? Zenith, we already have that, and we say sunset. Though I wonder if I need to do this if it's already a global variable and the function that actually does it can already grab it. But I think this way would be not necessarily easier, but you kind of like give the source through instead of that you have to look at the code at what the hell Zenith meant. And now you can backtrack it. Okay, Zenith comes from the moon cycle, which gets cold here, which grabs its variable from there. I can always later pull it out and just gut it if I want to. Okay, I can press run and I'm going to get an error. Yeah, I'm going to get an error. Index out of range. And the first one to actually call it is the moon? Which is odd. I would say the sun would call it first, because it's the first one that gets called. Eh. Let's see why it's the moon first that calls it. Oh, here it gets 339. 339. Most likely because it's out of range. Okay. So that's not the moon's problem, is because here we're doing something. So if I replace this with int, it should now work. So at first it would only look at the hours. But that was because we had like a single digit variables to give out what hour it is, and now we're parsing in digits that sometimes go to the hundreds. And that fixes the moon, I think. Now let's go to the sun, because the sun also uses. The clock. Just hope I don't get into trouble with the angle again, because I really... Just paste that. No. Find clock 0 and replace with okay. Find place fire. Yep. No. Replace. Okay. Let's see what the board does. If I'm getting an error. Yes, I'm getting error to the index out of range. Hit again with the moon. What happens if I edit out the moon for now? And just go pure with the sun to start with. I should get a similar error. I don't. Okay. Okay. The sun is working. It seems. Excuse me. How much time before and after the sun does the sky light up? I can make that a lot more now. I can make that 16. Will be an hour. I don't think it's visible though. Because it will abruptly change the sky color. It doesn't fade yet because I wanted to implement the minutes first so I could make a nice fade into it. But I want to fix the moon first. Something's going wrong. Okay, I give it the two moons location, right? How high and width of the moon, and then I say phase. I don't think phase is the problem. I think it has more to do that it's trying to be drawn outside of the boundary, and that's why, well, it's saying out of range, so okay, this is the day, this is the minutes, it's already in. The moon cycle. Does it have to do with this? It has to do with this, doesn't it? Because I went like, oh, 24 hours. No. Because we said everything 2 minutes. So it's not going to be 24 hours. It's going to be 24. $144. Is how many minutes there are in a day. I think technically it's more than that, but I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that one yet. Hey, that was the problem. Okay. Well, that was a quick fix. Cool. Okay. Fix it faster than I thought. Well, maybe then I can give attention to that fade of the pre-dawn and post-dusk thing. And let's do that one. The sky has been such... It has so far been the worst thing to do. Twilight angle, an angle at which the sun dawn ends and dusk begins. Twilight, how much time before or after the day does the sky light up? But yeah. Hey, Zatuk. Oh, it's pouring out of my nose. Okay. So that's what we have to work with. Thank you, sweetie. I'm gonna put the mic off here for this. Okay. I keep having to look back at my code to see how I did it. Okay, I used the twilight angle. why it is important to add description to everything. Was this before or after? Is it dusk or is this dawn? I should be ashamed of myself. And I saw something. Yeah. Right. Well, it's easy enough to find out. Oh. Oh, I did do it right. It is dusk. Okay, then this is dawn. Yay. It's not helping that they almost sound exactly the same. Dusk and dawn. I'm going to mix them up a few times. Sorry for that already in advance. But that kind of gives us an idea of what we're looking for. I already know that the sky is accurate, but we have to give like a step. Now we're giving like full-blown 1 when we actually need to give it a step as well. And then we have to calculate this for that, don't we? Oh no. No, we don't. Because here we're calculating the angle of the angle that's being used. And we don't have to go that far. We simply have to calculate the percentage of the time that has already passed in the margin of when it should start and when it goes. To explain it in layman's terms, so we're going to have to say step as well. Step. In the case of this is pre-dawn. Oh, we have to go back into calculation of see if I can grab some. Okay. So the whole thing in this is like if this is the time, because this is, we're going with dawn first. This is sunrise. And this is basically sunrise minus twilight. Luckily, sun does not rise that early in the morning that I have to be afraid of the turnover, like I was with the moon. But then calculation would be, I need to know the difference between this one. Yeah, the twilight is the okay. You said twilight is like 60 minutes. Made it 100. I could actually just grab 100. And that would say every minute is 1%. Right? I'm doing it right. So then it has to... the other input I'm getting is the clock. The int clock. So if the int clock... Okay, I just wrote down what it was supposed to be. We have set sunrise is at 500. So going in with 100, it would be 419. That it should start. So if we say if the int clock is 500, minus the twilight, that would give us give us like how far it is, right? And then we can do that times 0, 0. One, and that would make it 0, 8. But that's only if this is 1. Well, at least we need to do that part. Let's do that part first. Okay. What's the sun cycle? So, step is clock int. Right. Minus. That goes into brackets. Sun. Rise. Oh, here is called rise. Minus rise. Rise minus twilight. Let's just twilight. Okay. That gives us the first piece, as in how much time has already passed inside the bar. But then, if now I grabbed twilight as 100, which would make 1%, 1 minute. But if it's 60, it will go to like 1,6. How does that work with the divide? How do I do that with that one? My brain is hurting. Because it's not going to be that. Or here I do this, so maybe that's what I have to do. Let's see if that kind of works out. So if I go for 81, that's what I'm using here, and say times 0.6. Yeah. I go like times 0.01. That's how I'm going to do it now. Don't know if it'll work, but okay. So twilight. Am I ever going to make twilight 0? In the sense that am I going to divide by 0? Because if I am, I'm going to get into trouble. So I need to actually multiply it instead. Say blah, blip blip. I don't know if that's the same thing, but yeah, it's the same thing. Okay. And then we're going to divide it again, the whole deal. 0. Is this going to work, or is this going to... You couldn't see that, could you? Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, floats, blah 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 blah. Damn it. It is a float, but it's supposed to be a float. The step is always a float. Right? It's supposed to be a float. Well, let's see where this ends up. Yeah, sky, step. Sky, step. Sky, 1, 9. Wait. Maybe. The float is wildly off. Oh wait, I need to put it in front, or else I can't see what it's doing. I was already trying to call on it before it's out there. Okay, what gives me? What gives? Huh? It gives me... Huh? Wait. It gives me an array, though step is just supposed to be a float. How can it be an array? I'm not missing brackets. And I'm not divided by 0. This doesn't think so. Okay, let's calculate this yet again. Maybe I could just say no. This already happens at this time. Okay. So let's highlight is 40. We say what else? Clock int is at that point that we get the error 498. Rise is at 519. So when is it supposed to come up? Which is rise minus twilight, right? Which should be um 5 9. Looks wrong to me. No, it's right. Okay. That the clock is giving us an error here and not at this time is because we are skipping minutes. And that's why this is happening. So that's the start. At rise, it should end. And the duration is this. So when's the time? So if clock int, what's the calculation we put out? Clock int, we say minus rise minus twilight. Multiply by twilight divided by 0. Oh. Ha! European and American. I think I know what the error is. Go back. These. This is the problem. What a difference a comma makes. Does it though? Does it though? Hey! But I'm wondering. Oh yeah, there's something I also need to fix. Oh man. One thing at a time. It's already giving me like noon, doesn't it? When it comes up, it already like noon sky and not. It's giving me noon sky. Huh? That's supposed to be giving me noon sky. Should. Or it's supposed to be night sky going through, isn't it? That's And night sky is 3. Isn't it? Hey! That looked a whole lot better. Let's put it through the steps first before I go all gone on it. Let's put it to the extreme. Give us some more time to actually... Oh! Holy hell. That was scary. Maybe it going into the negative, the steps? Okay. Yes, he is. If you... It goes double. It goes double. Okay. Here's okay. That's already wrong. That's for sure wrong. And that is... By God, by golly, not what it's supposed to be doing. So my calculations were not correct. Of course, it was too good to be true. Okay. What are the calculations though? The sunrise was 519. So this is the last one that goes in, and here it should be around. Not around 100%, but 90 at least, but not 3. So I'm calculating this wrong. Okay. Good thing I tried it out. Well, that's what this one's for. I guess. So, if we work away the brackets, I go, oh, that's this. So that'd be 4, 5, 9, right? Should I go grab the 100? Because that's what I'm grabbing now. So then we can reflect everything. Certainly. This is not accurate either. But easier to do. Okay, so that's 319. I think it's 20. Uh, 100 times. Oh, door. That would give us 2. a step further. It's only at these moments that I realize and understand math a bit. Just a bit. Go to 4.8 minus 3.9 gives us 1. Yeah, that would never going to work. So that would have given us 3, 5, 8. And that gives us 3. Is it here? No, I don't think it's here. Because 1% of 200 is 2. So I think it's here. Because I said multiply because I figured this would always be a 0 dot thing, which it isn't. I think it needs to be divided by, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Oh man. So if we say 9 divided by 2 times 2. It needs to be a divide by. But I don't like the idea of dividing by, because if something happens, if Twilight for some reason ends up as 0, don't think it should, but a possibility is there, is going to divide by 0 and everything is going to grind to a halt. Which is not what I want to do. How do I fix it in these ones? I do divide by. Oh, crap. Okay. Just divide by that. See what it makes of it. Okay. It only came out once. Wait. It only came up once. It should have already started here. Oh, no, it It didn't come up once. It did do its thing, as it's supposed to. Why does it look so weird though? It's another look-see daisy. Oh, it's going backwards. It's going backwards. Cool. Oh. Okay, artifacts. Hey! Yeah. Okay. That looks a lot better. Let's do that the same thing with this then. Here. It's plus. Right? Info. Because Twilight OS is where it ends. Oh dear. The start of the twilight. It doesn't need to know anymore, does it? It just needs to know fall. Because that's where it starts. And this is purely to... Let's just have a look, see what it does. As long as it doesn't give me an error, so that's working. And it's not doing anything because I didn't tell it to use step. Step. That looks actually nice. It looks a little bit off though, but I don't think... Hey, somebody's helping me out. Hey Jason. Sorry, I'm not used to people actually commenting on there. What controller am I using? I am using the Interstellar or Interstate, sorry, 75. It's a small board made by Pimoroni in the UK, especially for LED displays, in the sense that they can be plugged in directly into the LED display. Which makes us a much easier thing, because at first I was trying to do this on a Python and it was kind of clumsy to use one. But it's running MicroPython on it, and it's the first time I'm trying to use MicroPython, which is nice, but I run into a few things that some things don't work, like arrays aren't that well managed thus far, but it's still fun. To clock down supplies. My formula can be simplified a lot. Yeah, that's an understatement. Clock int plus twilight minus rise. What do you mean on this piece? Yeah, the first statement. Yeah. I don't know if that would that give me the same thing if I would go, because this would give me like the start point when the fade needs to start. Yeah, I'll just try it. Sure, I'll give it a go. And then divided by... I don't think that would work though, because the twilight is what the second part. Well, Python, I've used many different types of code, and Python is the one easier to actually pick up and to just run with. Yeah, it has to be Twilight, I think. With things like Java and stuff, you kind of already have to know what you want to do before you actually type it out. And with Python, it's more like more legible, more just readable, and I can type out, okay, this is what I wanted to do, and then I can use those lines of code to actually change it into what I want it to be. But I haven't been looking at what it's actually doing with my... Yes. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, last part is multiplied by twilight. That's it. You kind of double the... That's kind of what you meant, right? Let's just give it a run. Oh! Okay, that didn't look all too good. Ooh. Kind of feels like an O-bop there. Did I make an error? No, I didn't. Oh, wait, it's trying... Yeah, it divides first before it multiplies twilight. Absolutely, brackets are amazing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we put in... Okay, so something's not going right there. But it looks overblown instead of that it looks... And if I'm correct, it's still going through a clamp variable that I made that makes sure that it doesn't blow up the LEDs too much. Because the things with these LEDs, if you give them more than their maximum output, which is 255, so if you kind of give them like 300 of value, it would go back to black. So I put in a clamp function that takes the input, and if it's like 300, it will bring it down to 255, so it never goes over. But this is weird. Let's just try something else. Did we go 10 too far? Thus far, I haven't burned any LEDs, and I think that's partially because it goes back to 0 if you give it too much of a value. So thus far I haven't burned it out yet. I'm also surprised that it's just using the USB-C, because other times I had, like, with Raspberry Pi I had a bonnet from Adafruit, and you have to connect that to an outlet, and I did one of the things wrong, and it fried my Raspberry Pi in an instant. Like, the electrical genie came out in a puff of smoke, and the whole thing just fried. But the LED was okay, because this is the LED that I used for it. Okay, so this is not working. Yeah, but this USB-C is not even input in an outlet. It's inputted at the front of my computer, because it's also what feeds the code right now. But I'm only using like a small board, so I'm not that scared of it burning through. Because this is 32 by 64 LED board. So it's nothing too crazy. Are you going to work now? No, he is playing nice. Okay. So that seems to work now. Woohoo! I have never done so much math in my life as when I started this project, with calculating angles and radiuses and stuff, with the whole sun going through and the whole moon thing. Do we need to fix the moon though? Oh yeah. So we have the pre-dawn, post-dusk fade in there now, which is another thing we can scrape off our to-do list. It's one of the things that I love about code. If you get it wrong, it will tell you. Sometimes it won't tell you exactly what is wrong, but it will at least go, I don't know. What else can we fix today? We're already at 1 hour and 30 minutes. So, is there something we can do? Do you have any experience, Jason, with Python or MicroPython? Now I'm interested. I'm gonna throw this one out. Which code base is your favorite? Because I have worked with Java and C++, the simple stuff of Hello World, and C#, similar to that. Java for sure. But what's so good about it? Just because it's a little bit more simple. No, simplified is not the right word, but with C++ and C#, I have more of a feeling that I'm closer to the code base, as in it's the ABC, and Java is more like the entire word. I don't know how to explain that, but let's add more comments for myself so I can actually read my code back. Okay. Mm. Well, many reasons. It has garbage collection. It's more elegant than C++ for sure. It runs virtually and I have a lot of fun with it. In the end, it's the time I invest into learning it that counts the most. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know how much time you need to invest in C++ and C# compared to Java to actually have a good foundation for it. I had to learn Java in 3 months and do a test, and I failed it by 1 point. I say Java like a German. Well, how do you say it in English? Well, I'm not German though, but close enough. But I had to do indeed Zava? I don't know. Zava, okay. But yeah, I got into... I made one error in the test as to remember that a string is an object. That was, yeah, the error that I made, and therefore I failed the test. Which is a problem I still have, though. Not that I don't know what a string is, but Java uses objects, and Python has a lot less of that. I still tend to make errors, though, with local variables and global variables. But that's fine. How did I come up with the whole what I'm building, or just how it looks right now? Because what I was I had an idea of having like a window thing on the LED display, so like it's looking through your window and it would display like the day and night cycle and the date and the time. That's kind of the whole thing. Yeah. And I put in the tree so I can use that to symbolize seasons. So right now it looks like summer, and when it's like winter or fall, then it would go to green leaves and lose its leaves and maybe even snow, to kind of get the idea of what the season is. I know it's a stupid thing because you could always just look out a window to see what it is, but I like doing this. Yeah, I really want to build in the whole thing. True, some people don't look out of the window enough. I know. I don't look out of the window enough too, but I don't really have that great of a view out of my window, so But this is also nice. It's kind of 8-bit sentimental kind of thing. So yeah, that's why I'm making it. It's for me and it's for fun. And it helps me to learn Python a bit more. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Jason, thank you so much for your help. And simply for the conversation, it's really nice. That's what code does. Code breaks once in a while, and that's fine. I break it all the time. Yeah. I am thankful for the clamp. It's one of the first things I put in there. Because I couldn't figure out why let's went out, even though I put more large value in it. Took me a while to figure that one out. But thanks everybody for watching. And if anybody has any tips, any tricks, or any comments, or whatever, let me know. I am always interested to learn and to hear stuff from people. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.